Have you ever had one of those days where just nothing worked out the way you thought it would? And it didn't matter what you tried to do to correct it, it just usually got worse. Well, Bungie has had a bad month, and the slings and arrows don't seem to be letting up. So in today's episode, we talk about Bungie, its woes, and ask ourselves, is Destiny finally dead? I'll also have another Bungie Please segment at the end of the show, so let's roll. Hey Guardians, welcome to the Destiny Help Desk podcast, a show that's designed to help you with the little bits of the Destiny 2 online game. Hey, my name is Todd the Gator, and whether you're a brand new Guardian to the game or a returning player, I'm here to help you explain the constantly changing dynamics of this game, bring you up to speed, and get you ready to jump in and start your Destiny journey. This is the audio component to my YouTube channel, which is Todd the Gator, 2 Ds and GATR, or you can visit youtube.com/@ToddTheGator. If you're more of a visual learner or want to refresh your memory of today's subject, you will always find a link to the video pertaining to this topic. Just check in those show notes down below there. If you have any questions for me that I might answer on the show at a later time, please email me at toddthegator@gmail.com, or you can send me a voicemail with your question at speakpipe.com/Destiny Helpdesk. All of these links will be in the show notes down below as well. There are no stupid questions in Destiny, so if you need answers, please don't hesitate to send them my way. This podcast is here to serve you, and who knows, your question just might help a fellow newer Guardian out there. You can also DM me on Twitter at ToddTheGator as well. All right, let's get into it. If you're an avid Destiny 2 enthusiast and have followed social media lately, the rhetoric around this game has been tepid at best and outright negative. There have been opinions from all over the Destiny community jumping on the negative bandwagon. So I want to give you my input as well surrounding all the, quote, issues in the game currently. So is Destiny finally dead? In a word, no. Okay, thanks for coming everyone. Drive safe. No, but seriously, why is Destiny not dead? And more importantly, why are so many Destiny content creators overreacting with their latest videos and posts recently? The video game franchise Destiny was first launched in 2014, and its successor, Destiny 2, was launched in 2017. Both versions of the game are available to play right now. The Destiny franchise as a whole has a rare distinction as one of the most vibrant live service game franchises ever. As of today, Destiny has been around as a live service game for nearly 9 years. And yes, I realize it's no Final Fantasy or RuneScape. Yet. There are over 1.6 million monthly concurrent players in this game even today, and I don't see Bungie stopping anytime soon. I have been playing Destiny since the beta was released in early 2014, and I was so excited to see the teaser trailer live at E3 on my PlayStation console in 2013. Only to be bummed when I heard that the game wasn't officially launching for another year. At that time, I was a veteran Call of Duty player, and I had a nightly ritual of joining up on my online friends that I've known for years. The banter and stories I still remember to this day. Good times. I tell you all of that to tell you this. I have a deep history of gaming online with friends and being involved in gaming communities. In full disclosure, I love the game Destiny. This game broke the mold for me on how online shooters were played with so many social aspects and reward systems in place. So if you haters want to call me a Destiny fanboy or shill, then I'll accept that as a compliment, so thank you. What many of you are probably growing weary of by now is all the hate and non-constructive criticism or complaining. Bungie has created a world that I have spent a lot of time in, whether running around the Crucible shooting the heads of other Guardians, playing in a fire team of 6 working together to kill that big boss in raids, or just sitting in the Cosmodrome with my headphones on, listening to the crickets. Yeah, you'll hear them if you sit still long enough. Combine that with the beautiful skylines and very inspirational music, and you've got a unique experience I've not seen or heard in any other games. To this day, other developers in this gaming genre have tried to duplicate Bungie's magic ingredient, only to realize what Bungie has made takes a lot more than a month's worth of content. Remember Anthem? Will anyone remember Outriders, Redfall, or other equivalent games in a few years? I bet they won't. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to put down other developers' games. I'm sure they took a lot of time and effort to create. But it only exemplifies how well Bungie has not only crafted this world we game in, but how quickly they've adapted to the changing times of gaming over the years. I'm involved in a pretty active Destiny gaming community at the moment, and it's always great to see new members in our community take the leap and jump into games with our community members. Destiny has a lot to offer, whether you want to jump into competitive games against other players to try out that new weapon that dropped for you in the EDZ, or exploring all the worlds of the solar system for yourself while completing some planetary, gunsmith, or even clan bounties for extra XP and rewards at the same time. Or maybe you want to join 2 other friends in a strike to get even more targeted loot. Oh, and don't forget your bounties. Sorry, I'm just a bounty guy. How about a mix of both in Gambit? Bungie has even made it possible for you to try the game out for free. There are so many things you can do in this game for free, and don't let anyone tell you it's not. You can play everything I just mentioned above for free. If you like what you see, then you have the option to purchase campaign, seasonal content, but a word of advice here. Bungie has made purchasable content a little complicated, so if you can, ask someone who's played the game what you should invest your time and, more importantly, money in. And also remember that crossplay is available, so if your friend only plays on PC but you are on console, there's no need to worry about having to play on the same platform. Okay, Gator, we get it. You love Destiny. Let's talk about the, quote, issues with Bungie today that you've heard all over social media. One thing I've been hearing about is the servers. Yes, the servers have been an issue. There's no denying that. But you know what? In true Bungie fashion, they've communicated just last week all the reasons why this is happening, and in a very technical way, I must say. They are also installing a patch that will somewhat alleviate these hiccups. Is it going to be fixed tomorrow? Probably not, as they've already told us that it's a delicate process to fully correct. Now, I'm speculating that Bungie's technical staff has probably grown since they need more help to make their upcoming game Marathon, and they're probably having some growing pains in adapting new staff into the Bungie systems. But you know what? I've enjoyed this game with no server issues for nearly 9 years now. Destiny games, to me, have been more stable over the years than so many other games I've played in the past. So I'm going to give them a pass. Don't get me wrong. It's a short pass, but I'll tell you what. Bungie knows that if no one can log into the game or players are getting kicked constantly, that us Guardians are going to lose faith in the game, and the studio will not allow that to happen. Quite honestly, I play every night, and I have seen minimal problems. And yes, I get kicked occasionally, but it's not been game-breaking, at least not for me. I'd be willing to bet that no one will even remember these server issues next year, but hey, maybe that's just me. Another thing I've been hearing is that Bungie has abandoned the Crucible community. And as an avid Crucible player, I can't help but think this might be the case. Very few improvements have been made in the Crucible and nearly nothing in new maps to play in. But the thing about the Crucible is that it's never been a true competitive shooter. It was not created like these long-running, super serious PvP shooters like CSGO, for instance. And whenever I jump in with 5 other friends of mine playing Iron Banner, when it comes around. A side note here, Bungie, please bring back Iron Banner more than once a month. Sorry, but the point is that we all have a great time cutting up and shooting the enemy teams, so maybe don't take it so seriously. Damn, did I just say that out loud? As far as the future of the Crucible and Destiny, I believe that Bungie's going in a different direction with the game after the final shape. Which, if you're not in the loop, that's the big finale of the long-running Light and Dark saga that originated way back when the original Destiny started out. I think their new PvP game, Marathon, will be the Crucible shooter that all of us PvP players have wanted, and that Destiny will continue on as a mainly PvE game. But my co-host of my other podcast, Guardian Downcast, disagrees. You know what? In either case, time will tell. Then there's the monetization argument, and that Bungie is being greedy and cutting content in the paid-for game and focusing more time and talent on the Eververse store items. Yes, monetization is a sticky subject, as one side of the crowd has the money and are willing to spend it on these in-game items, and the other side either doesn't or won't part with their money for these digital goods. I've heard arguments that people spend their money on microtransactions are the problem, but I don't agree with this for several reasons. First, if you look at the gaming industry as a whole, other developers have been including microtransactions in their games for years now. Remember those predatory loot boxes? And as Bungie has now been acquired by Sony for billions of dollars, I think it's just a sign of the times. Bungie has slowly included more and more items for sale in the game, and some think it's come to a head. Some have even stated that the game has become pay to win, and as a longtime Destiny player, I don't see this perspective. Gaining loot may be a little faster of items that are available to everyone in game, to me, is not pay to win. We pay for little conveniences everywhere in life. Early access has been a thing in entertainment for a long time now, and this is no different. Destiny is one of my hobbies. I don't currently play many other games, and I certainly don't spend the time in them that I do in Destiny. The Destiny worlds and community is something that I believe will be around for a long time, even after all the years before, so occasionally I may throw a few bucks Bungie's way. Do I buy everything in the store? Oh, hell no. But if I see a ship or emote that personifies my guardian or just really looks unique, then I may be inclined. I used to have so much more inexpensive hobbies, and to me, for the thousands of hours of entertainment I've gotten from the game, this is the cheapest one I've had yet. With everything I've said here so far, we can be assured that Bungie and Destiny are not going anywhere. Keep in mind that as I've played this game for so long, that every year we have the ebb and flow of the game. Hey, I've been with Destiny through the highs and the lows, and when Destiny has new content to offer, the community is riding the wave. But when content wanes a little bit, it can really get low. Remember, summer is here and more of us gamers are actually touching grass and getting outside with either family and friends. Other great games are out now, like Diablo 4, Final Fantasy, and others, so gamers may be taking a break from Destiny to try out these new games. So don't just buy into all the drama there. You know, Destiny fatigue is a thing, but if that's not you, play Destiny and have fun. Isn't that what games were made for? Oh, and one other thing. Bungie is having a big reveal show on August 22nd of this year about the future of the game. And mark my words, all of these Destiny community members that are complaining about the game will be first in line to cheer Bungie on, and also be jumping on the then Destiny 2 hype train. Hey Guardians, just a quick announcement that I've achieved my first goal of reaching 1,000 new and returning Guardians out there on my YouTube channel as subscribers, and it continues to grow every day. In fact, I've surpassed the 2,700 Guardians mark who have subbed to my channels thus far. My goal is to reach 5,000 by the end of the summer, so please help me in that endeavor if you haven't already. And I wanted to thank you for your support, and hopefully the videos I've released thus far have given you some clarity in traversing all the little things of this Destiny 2 game. As the latest Destiny 2 annual expansion has been released, Lightfall, my goal will be continue to help new and returning Guardians out there tackle the next iteration of the Destiny universe story and activities. But I'm also going to add some more opinion pieces in there as well. Let me know what you think about those. And of course, don't forget my live streams. So keep an eye out on my YouTube channel for these videos, and the audio components of them will also be released here, right here, on this podcast as well in the future. So if you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, Todd the Gator, what are you waiting for? Jump in there and follow the channel, hit that notification bell so you'll be alerted to those videos when they first arrive. So thanks. I also wanted to mention that you can now become a channel member directly to support my content. It's super easy to do. Just click that join button below the video and it will explain the rest. If you become a channel member, you'll receive a special channel member badge that will be visible whenever you comment on my videos, and also when in my live streams on YouTube. There will be a member-only chats on live streams on occasion, and your comments will be highlighted as well. So do me a solid and sign up to be a channel member. Think of it as buying me a shot at the bar once a month, just to say thanks. I appreciate you. Hey Guardians, it's Todd the Gator here with another Hey Bungie video. You know, there's been a lot of drama lately in the Destiny 2 community, and I'm not here to add to it by all means. But maybe I can offer up a suggestion that Bungie might want to put into place in order to create some goodwill within the community. Lately the community in general has seen that Bungie is working on other games like Marathon for the future of their studio, and it may appear to us Guardians playing Destiny 2 that we're being a little ignored, or at least being put on the back burner when it comes to issues like server stability, Crucible content, and cheaters, and monetization. In other words, we feel like Destiny 2 is the cash cow and we're getting fully milked and taken advantage of. I can see how this may be the case, as Bungie has a limit on developer talent. And as a business, they need to spread that talent around a bit. Okay, with that in mind, there has been some feedback from the community that the monetization of Destiny 2 has gotten way out of control. Eververse seems to have a lot more creative energy aimed at new content in the form of sparrows, ships, ornaments, ghost projections, emotes, shaders than what the seasonal content provides. And these items in Eververse are really expensive and require either in-game earnable currency, called Bright Dust, or real-world currency in the form of silver. I don't know about you, but spending $10 for an exotic emote is really expensive, since the entire year of content for Destiny 2 with all the seasons included is about $100. It's not like that emote does anything for me, but it looks cool, and you want to show it off to your friends on that next raid group, right? So what is the solution here? As many of you know, I've played Destiny since the beta back in 2014 and have over 5,000 hours between multiple accounts, and I've seen how Destiny has evolved over the nearly 10 years now. My suggestion is based on what Bungie did have in place back in the early years of Destiny 2, and I really think they need to bring it back. For some of you veteran Destiny 2 gamers, you might remember the early years of the Eververse storefront. You would get an Eververse Engram sporadically while playing the game, and you'd then turn them into Tess, and she would give you a random item from the Eververse store. Just like the Bright Engrams we get today, but it's more determined from sources like leveling up the Season Pass. And sometimes you get them randomly throughout the game, but you also get one of these Engrams for every 5 levels past 100, guaranteed. This is great for those of us that quickly reach the level 100 pass bar and have claimed all the items of the Season Pass, and now need a better reason to continue to play. I remember back in 2017 to late 2019, before the Shadowkeep expansion, you could dismantle items for Bright Dust. Anything you received from the Eververse store that you didn't want to keep could be dismantled this way. Once Shadowkeep was launched, though, Bungie made the change to the Bright Dust economy where you gain Bright Dust from seasonal challenges and season passes. What they also changed was any items from Eververse that you didn't want and you dismantled now only gave you a little glimmer and a few legendary shards. I believe 10,500 Bright Dust is awarded from paying customers and 7,500 from free-to-play Guardians. This may seem like a lot of Bright Dust, but farming Bright Dust just got a lot harder to do. The only way to farm it today is by completing repeatable bounties from the Vanguard, Crucible, and Gambit. That's it. A measly 10 Bright Dust per bounty. Oh, and you can complete 8 bounties for the week on these vendors and get 120 Bright Dust also. Wow. Thanks, Bungie. You can also farm it during seasonal events like Solstice, etc. But to add insult to injury, the cost of items for Bright Dust was greatly increased as well. So the net benefit was a lot less Bright Dust for us Guardians and no way to farm it versus pre-Shadowkeep. I remember when Bungie made this change, and I was not happy about it. I had farmed so much Bright Dust, and more importantly, had so much flexibility on what I wanted to spend it on as well. This was discussed on our podcast, Guardian Downcast, recently. Take a listen. Do you guys remember the very first part of Destiny 2 when Bright Dust would buy you so much stuff in the store? You wouldn't even have to pay for stuff because they were throwing Bright Dust at you like candy. You remember those days where you had 30, 40,000 Bright Dust all the time? And you could just buy it. You could just use your Bright Dust to buy anything in the store. That lasted so long for me. And there was a moment, I don't know where it happened, where they made it, I think it was maybe the state of the game and maybe second or third year of Destiny 2, where they flipped the switch and they made everything super expensive Bright Dust wise, and then they gave you less of it. And I remember back then I complained about that, and who knows how it was taken, but they need to bring back that Bright Dust. That would be some goodwill they could give to the community. It's just so commercial. It's just so
dude, it's par for the course, man.
I know all games are like this now.
Bungie is not doing anything that nobody else is.
I agree. I agree with you. But I just think in-game currency, they need to tweak that back up again. So here's my suggestion. Back when you would get that Eververse Engram and Tess would give you an item, If you didn't like what you received, you could dismantle it and you were rewarded with Bright Dust. Bungie was pretty generous with Bright Dust back then, and you could easily pile up 5-figure amounts of it to use however way you liked. In the Eververse store for items that were offered each week. With all the grumblings of more and more monetization of items in the Eververse store, and the fact that a majority of the items you get from Bright Ingrams is a lousy ghost, ship, or sparrow, which has been the majority of my rewards, I don't know about you. Why not bring back the option to dismantle these items into Bright Dust instead of easily accessible legendary shards and Glimmer? These mediocre rewards from Eververse are now more commonplace with more items in the possible loot pool, like ghost projections and the fact that shaders now cost 300 Bright Dust, or worse. Real money. If Bungie brought back this ability, then in the Guardian's eyes, they would use alternative routes of acquiring the really cool stuff now in the store, and not feel the need to use silver, real money. Offering more items in the store for Bright Dust would also need to be a thing, as well as to complement the new economy, or better yet, how about 2 prices for all items in the store? In other words, a cool exotic ship you want is either 1,200 silver or 2,400 Bright Dust. I don't know about you, but this would seem like a lot more transparent way and not so greedy system for Bungie to put into use. What do you think? Am I out of line here? Or would this be a turning point for Bungie in the game's storefront? Hey, thanks for listening to this episode. My next episode will be all about another little thing you might want to know in this game we all love. Just a reminder that if you want to join our community, go to discord.gg/Guardian Downcast. That's where my longtime friend Hazelnut and I have another Destiny 2 podcast for new and veteran Guardians alike, where we interview content creators and community members to discover their story and journey in Destiny. We also talk about the current issues in the community and game and go over the latest news from Bungie. This sounds like something you might want to check out. The link will be in the show notes down below as well. Lots of quick little links down there, so check them out. Finally, if you have a question relating to the show that you want answered, you can email me at toddthegator@gmail.com or send me a voicemail at speakpipe.com/Destiny Help Desk. I want to help you out, so let's hear them. Light follows here, and there's a lot to do. Thanks again for your time, and later, Guardian. Hey, you made it to the end again. Nice job. Sorry, no bloopers this time around. But hey, keep checking in. I might slip one in occasionally. And you never know where one might fall into place. They need to make a meme of the Titan and the Warlock side by side. The Warlock has just magical going everywhere, like crazy chaos going everywhere. And then they need to have the Titan with his little crab arms just going. Whew, whew, whew. Take care, everybody.